Introduction: the origins of a Cold War obsession. Imagine a world where a single cigar, something as simple as a puff of smoke, could alter the course of history. This was no spy movie. This was real life, and the CIA was desperate. In 1959, when Fidel Castro's communist regime took over Cuba, it sent shockwaves throughout the Americas. The United States needed to act, and they needed to act fast. But how far would they go to remove one man? Why the CIA targeted Castro? Political and ideological motivations. Why was Castro such a threat that he topped America's most wanted list for nearly half a century? To the CIA, he was more than just a man. He was a ticking time bomb. Pose a question. What if Castro, sitting so close to US shores, inspired others to follow his lead? What if Cuba became the epicenter of a wave of communist revolutions throughout Latin America? Set up the narrative that every plot against Castro was driven by this looming threat, raising the stakes for each attempt. Poisoned cigars, a deadly plan in theory. The CIA knew Castro's Achilles heel, his love for Cuban cigars. But what if that love turned deadly? What if just one puff was all it took? Introduce the toxin. Botulinum, a toxin so deadly that a speck could be fatal. The CIA prepared cigars laced with it, but now they faced an even bigger problem, getting it into Castro's hands. Each time they got close, Castro slipped through their grasp. Was it fate, luck, or something else? Little did the CIA know their poison-filled cigars were about to take on a life of their own. CIA assassination attempts, the catalogue of bizarre plots. Exploding Seashell. What if you were scuba diving, only to come face to face with a ticking time bomb disguised as a seashell? The CIA planned to plant a beautifully rare, explosively rigged seashell at Castro's favoritee diving spot, certain he'd go for a closer look. But just when they thought they had him, poisoned wetsuit. If the seashell didn't work, maybe his suit could. Enter the poisoned wetsuit, a weapon not to kill Castro outright, but to rot him from the inside out. Laced with a fungus and bacteria cocktail, the suit was supposed to be a gift that would slowly sicken him. But what happened next wasn't what the CIA expected. Contaminated coffee. Think the coffee in your hand is safe. What if one sip could be your last? The CIA tried to plant poison in his coffee, relying on the loyalty or betrayal of someone close to Castro. But with every attempt, the agency found themselves blocked by a seemingly impenetrable barrier: Castro's inner circle. Femme fatale, attente. The ultimate spy twist: one of Castro's lovers, Marita Lorenz, was recruited to kill him. But when she looked him in the eye, could she really pull the trigger? Lorenz allegedly entered his room with a vial of poison, but when Castro caught her hesitation, he did something that left her stunned. Psychological warfare and symbolic gestures, the plan to make Castro look weak. They didn't just want him dead. The CIA wanted him humiliated and his image shattered. How? They'd make his iconic beard fall out. Set up the beard sabotage as the CIA's most bizarre psychological strategy. They hoped that if his beard fell out, it would strip him of his fierce image, making him look weak and laughable. But what if this strange plan backfired? Failure of CIA plans and Castro's resilience. Time after time, the CIA failed. And every failed attempt only made Castro stronger, turning him into a legend. Did Castro just have an uncanny sixth sense, or was someone tipping him off each time? And every time he escaped, it only fueled the legend of his invincibility. A reflection on Cold War paranoia, what the CIA's actions reveal about the era. The real story of these plots is what they reveal about an era ruled by fear. Could a single man, a single nation really be that dangerous? Dig into the Cold War's climate of paranoia and pose the question: how far would the US go to protect itself, and at what cost? Legacy and lasting impact of the plots against Castro. The CIA tried to kill Castro over 600 times, yet he lived to be 90. In the end, who really won? What if all these failed plots only cemented Castro's power, and by trying to remove him, the CIA helped create the very myth they wanted to destroy? If you find value in these discussions, please consider subscribing, commenting, and giving a thumbs up. Each action helps support the channel and allows me to keep exploring.